What's up, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Beyond the Program podcast. I'm your host, Rockstar, and today's episode is called Religion, Spirituality, and the Afterlife. Woo! All right, and today I've got a guest with me, as you can see. I don't know if you remember from the last episode when I had a voice message from Josh from Para Evident, and I plugged his channel, so I asked him to come on today. And how you doing today, Josh?
Doing good. I'm doing good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad.
Awesome.
I'm glad that we finally got this thing working. I know that.
Yeah, me too.
Working all the bugs out, but
Definitely. We got it
I've
figured
been
out.
I've been meaning to ask you since you started that show, like about all that equipment that you use, like because there's a lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. We got all kinds of stuff we use. I have some of it. You want me to kind of show you?
yeah.
All right. So one thing that we use a lot, very often, is the K2 meter here. This gets electromagnetic levels and stuff like that. I mean, obviously you can't have it near much electronic stuff where it starts going off. But the idea is that spirits actually, when they're around, when they this lights up, and the more energy that's being used, the higher the thing here. So as you see, it's kind of you can kind of tap
Right,
it. You can kind of tap it like that.
right,
But yeah, so if
right.
you
And
you could.
sometimes, right, and sometimes they make it go to like yellow or up to red sometimes.
For sure, for sure. This is a big one in the paranormal community. A lot of people use this.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I'm pretty sure I've seen that
yeah,
on some of the TV shows.
yeah, absolutely. And then just your EVP recorder. It's just a regular little sound recorder. They say that spirits can be heard with, and it's usually voices we can't hear with our own ears. But
Is
you
that
know,
one new?
no, I've had this one for a little while. Yeah, it was just a little cheap Amazon $25
Oh,
one, but yeah.
that's not the one that actually speaks the words, is it?
Oh no, 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 no. I mean, that's an Ovulus. Those are awesome. One day I'm gonna get me one of those. That's pretty cool. They have different apps and stuff like that that you can use.
What
Um,
is the one that you do have that says things like it'll say a name or it'll say words? What is the
well,
one
that
that you have?
yeah, that's an app on the phone called GhostTube. There's been a lot of evidence that shows that that one is a lot of the people in the paranormal community have used it and had success with it. I feel like I have too, but you just
I
gotta,
would say so.
yeah, well, you just gotta kind of weed out some of the stuff that comes with it. Like sometimes words will not make sense, and maybe you're picking up on something, or just maybe it's, picking up on the wrong thing, and you just got to use your best judgment really with all that kind of stuff. um,
I think you've had some pretty good success with it. I mean, especially like if it says a name of the deceased person, like that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah. Also, got the Spirit Box here. Spirit Box, the SB7. Um, it pretty much just gives you white noise. It just continuously goes through radio stations, stuff like that. And really, what you're trying to get is the white noise to it. You can
So
adjust.
that's that thing that makes that like
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. It goes through and it's just yeah that and I mean I've tons of times I've gotten voices. I've had conversations with I mean I don't know who else it could be, but
So what you're looking for is basically any variation of other than that sound.
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the voices are as clear as day. On my, if you go to my YouTube channel, even my, I actually even have a TikTok, but I mean, if you go to my YouTube channel, my TikTok, you'll see plenty of instances where the words are clear. One time I asked it what color shirt I was wearing, and it straight said blue.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't think that would work if it was just something random. I mean, that's too coincidental for it to
Exactly,
be.
exactly. I mean, and I have this extra speaker. This doesn't usually have it, but it's just so it's for the volume, obviously, because this little speaker on here is so low. But yeah,
Yeah.
straight conversations I've had with, I sit in cemeteries with it and just let it go through. And
You record with like an actual camera or like a phone?
I use whatever I have, honestly. I use my phone a lot of times because honestly, the phones nowadays, they do the job just as well, if I'm being completely honest. But
You have to use like a microphone or something, or does it pick it up pretty good?
oh yeah, yeah, I use a microphone, all that stuff. I've got a little setup I actually use here. It just happens to be here. I wasn't planning on showing this, but I put my phone here, right? Got my little
Yeah,
my microphone in here, and I hook her up, and she's ready to go.
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but I also have a camera that I use, that has night vision on it, stuff like that. That's pretty cool. I think that looks really awesome on film there.
So yeah, the other thing is then the thing that displays the stick figure looking thing.
Oh, the SLS camera? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I actually, I built that myself. Actually, I mean,
yeah. I mean,
I didn't invent it or anything, but it's honestly,
yeah. I
it's
mean, when you guys did the episode with the children, whatever, at the tombstones, like that shit was fucking crazy.
yeah, it's pretty wild. I had one. I swear, it looks like it's dancing like Michael Jackson, man. It was giving me all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But essentially, all it is just the an Xbox Connect here, and
Hmm.
all this stuff can be bought on Amazon. And I bought all this. This is for the power here. Um, and then I have a tablet over here that I just clip on right here. And I mean, the
Yeah.
only issue I have with this thing is how heavy it is. Honestly, I think if I could get rid of some of these wires here, it probably wouldn't be so heavy. But it's really heavy, and it's really 5, 10 minutes, and you're just like, you
Yeah,
know.
because because it doesn't, it's not like a tripod where you can just set it down.
Well, it does actually have a little tripod thing at the bottom, but I mean, if you can point in the right direction, you can actually do that. It's got a little pistol grip handle where you can hold it
Oh,
like
okay.
this, or you pop out, and it's a tripod actually. But I mean, it's not. You gotta find something tall to set it on.
Right. It's not as tall as the other one.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I experiment with all kinds of different things. I'm always looking to try new stuff, and like me and Robert, which is one of my partners of Para Evident, we did a little bit of sensory deprivation exercise where I blindfolded myself, I put earbuds in, and so I couldn't hear anything but the spirit box going through, just and I was repeating the voices that I heard, and I couldn't hear what he was saying. So essentially, I was the device, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh,
I mean, if you deprive your a sense, then of course you're gonna have a heightened one to make up for it.
yeah, and I tell you, honestly, I didn't feel as creeped out that I was blindfolded, and I mean, I was in a pretty creepy spot. We were in these abandoned apartments. It was a pretty creepy spot, but I didn't feel really as as concerned with it. I guess that's your brain just messing with you.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's no reason to feel concerned. I mean, if they can't hurt you, I mean,
Yeah,
you're the only one that chooses to be scared by it. But I'm pretty sure that you are well past that at this point.
I don't know. I'm getting better, if that makes sense. I can talk myself out of it in my head, but it's just creepy, man. Honestly, worse than a ghost or a spirit popping out to say hi. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm more worried about a person.
Yeah.
I take a ghost any day rather than some
I was
random
gonna say,
person.
yeah. I mean, seems like you discover like new phenomenon every time,
Hmm.
or you see something new almost every time.
Yeah, you just never know what to expect. I will tell you this, a common misconception about ghost hunting, people think that you just go out there and they just, oh, they're catching this and catching that and catching this. But honestly, it's a lot of standing around talking to nobody in the dark, you know what I mean? And hoping for
Right.
responses and answers. And, you know,
Right. It doesn't quite happen as quickly as the show would have you believe.
right. But of course, we're not going to show you the part where we're just standing around. Nobody wants to see that. To get
Right.
back to what I was saying about a person, you know, I would like to share a story that happened one time when we were actually, it was those same apartments, those abandoned apartments I was telling you about.
Yeah.
So we get into this one apartment, right? And we're, you know, we're, it feels a little weird, but you know, we're there. It's always feeling kind of weird, you know. And we get in there and we hear some rustling around, like whoa, what, you know, hey, what is that? And so we start kind of creeping up the stairs. And Robert, he's in front, I'm in the back. He he's like, he stops me in my tracks, right? And I'm getting EMF spikes, the K2 meter, the red, you know, it's going up, up, up. He stops me, he says, "There's somebody here." And I said, "No, I don't know, we're good, we're good." He's like, "No, there's somebody here." And so we creep up the stairs, right? And he comes around the corner, and dude, a squatter, somebody, a homeless person is up there. Bro, that was scary. Can you imagine? I mean,
I'm I'm sure he didn't expect it either.
yeah, exactly. He was worried that we were the cops or something busting in on him.
Oh,
You know, it was pretty horrifying, if I'm being completely honest. It ended okay, and we kind of talked to him and explained to him what we were doing, but it could have been horrible.
oh yeah. I figure that's one thing that you might have to deal with, and when you do that, is people that are sleeping there or whatever.
Yeah, that's why the best thing to do is get permission to be where you're at all times. You know, I mean, we happen to have permission then, but you know, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Seems like there's a lot of quote unquote haunted places in your area. Like
Well, you got
you haven't had to travel out of state, have you?
uh no, no, I've went hours or so away for now. I mean, I'm still newish to the game. I'm still learning a lot, but I've went an
Yeah, like
hour or two out of my way definitely to get to a good spot.
yeah, like the one episode where like where you went to somebody's house or whatever, like was who was that? Like a relative or
Oh yeah, that was my
the one where your dad was there?
yeah, yeah, my dad, yeah. It's actually him and his girlfriend's house, and their
Oh,
mom,
okay.
her mom passed away in the house. And we got in there and we actually, from what Miranda, that's what the lady's name was, the daughter, she said that was her mom's voice she was hearing over the spirit box. I mean, she said, "I love you, mom," and that's on everything. It said, "I
Right.
love you" on the spirit box. I mean,
Right.
explain that,
And it said her mom's name too.
mom. Yeah, yeah. Explain that to me. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
what?
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And all the SLS camera, we picked up some figures in the bedroom, in the bed she slept in.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. I mean, what else could it be?
exactly.
Again, with the SLS camera, though, you got to use your best judgment, because a lot of times it's trying to pick up anything and everything. Like if you got a pile of laundry over there that just happens to look like a person, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's going to map it out. So you just got to use common sense. And a lot of people I've noticed in the paranormal community, they're just so willing to say that's a ghost right there, that's a spirit, just because they, I don't know if they think it's good footage or whatever, but um I,
Probably.
I mean, I'm always trying to
They're like
justify
they're like the damn mainstream media. It's all about the ratings.
it. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I'm always trying to figure it out. I always try to use a word that you do not like, debunk it. You said that in one of your podcasts.
Oh, yeah,
You didn't like that word, debunk.
because a lot of the debunkers they're not really looking for any other opinion. That's all they're specifically trying to do, and they're just looking for any excuse that they can to do that.
Yeah, it's just it.
Even when it's something that many people are corroborating on that it actually did happen.
Yeah, the world's a scary place right now, and it takes a lot of guts to talk about some of the things you talk about, and that's why I left that message for you, because I really feel like,
Yeah,
yeah,
because I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. I mean,
that
I I spent too much of my life worrying about that, and
don't we all?
somebody's got to do it.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you. So what do you have? What are your ideas? Any ideas for new episodes?
Yeah, we are going to be going to the Crescent Hotel. That's a big one. A lot of people have heard about. I'm actually about an hour away from the Crescent Hotel, and there's a room. I think it's 1402, something like that, or 402. I don't know. It's like this Michael's room is what it's called, and apparently
Sounds
there's.
sounds like a number from a movie or something.
I think you're thinking of 1408. That
Maybe,
Stephen King book
maybe,
slash movie, John Cusack.
maybe.
Maybe it's 402. Maybe I got 1408 stuck in my head too. But anyway, so yeah, they say that that's the most haunted room in the place, and that hotel is one of the most haunted in United States. From it's like on one of them lists. You know what I mean? Like,
So
I,
yeah, I'm willing to bet that there's probably more than one room.
yeah, of course,
I
yeah,
mean,
but
I'm sure you'll probably find all kinds of stuff there.
yeah, I want to get the good one though. You got to schedule that a couple months ahead of time. We go to the Crescent. I've got a few places in mind, a couple surprises in there. Um, yeah,
That's that's something to look forward to then.
definitely my goal is to be able to, do this and take care of my family. Do this as a job, as for a living. I mean, that would be the goal, obviously, right? I mean, I love it.
I
I
think I
enjoy
think
it.
I think you're on your way.
I hope so. I'm trying to grow, and I'm on every social media platform there is. So if you're
Yeah,
watching, you know, Para Evident, that's PARA 3, the number 3, VINDENT. Check me out on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. I'm there.
you heard him, folks. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. How did you come up with that name anyway?
Oh, the para evident? Well,
Yeah,
para is, obviously paranormal. And
right.
then, it's evident that there is life after death, but we use the number 3 to, the number 3 goes back and, there's a lot of crazy stuff on the number 3.
Yeah, I mean,
The Father,
you got that sacred geometry and things like
mhm,
that.
the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit,
Yeah,
the,
Trinity.
the Holy Trinity, the beginning, the middle, the end, all that stuff. And it's a number that's tied to spirituality a lot. So, I,
Fibonacci sequence.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you could research numerology for hours about the number 3 and find all kinds of good stuff about it.
Oh yeah, it's like that. It's like that movie, The Number 23. That's a good movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, Jim Carrey, isn't it? Yeah,
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 he's like completely outside of his element, but the way like the number just like follows him around everywhere.
yeah, yeah.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
he did a good job. Yeah, that reminds me. I'm sure you've seen this, but did you see old Jim on Jimmy Kimmel, uh, putting
Oh well,
everybody out there?
the Illuminati.
Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah,
Illuminati. Didn't he do this number too, or
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that?
He's making fun of it or whatever.
Yeah, and
Because of all the celebrities like doing the triangle and shit.
and then this one of them too, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. One of the eyes are hidden. That's why I
Mm-hmm. Oh
probably catch a lot of shit for my logo having one eye in it, and people think that it's Illuminati, but that wasn't
yeah.
what I was intended when I designed the logo.
I,
It's supposed to represent humanity being awake and
mm,
thinking for themselves. That's why you
I
got the light bulb with the brain in it.
I like it. I like your logo. I think it's awesome. The light bulb, yeah. Awake, like your eyes are open and awake. Yeah.
Exactly. And the light bulb is thinking for yourself.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I got a couple more devices here if you want to see them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is called
What-
the riddle box. So you
Have you
turn it
used that
on.
one in an episode yet?
Not yet. It's a new one, right?
Okay.
So so you set it down and you start asking your questions, yes or no questions. And if the answer is no, the spirit manipulates that. If the answer is yes, the spirit manipulates that.
So you don't have to flip any switches or
You
anything?
flip the switch and it's on, like it's on right now. So
Okay.
you just have to kind of be near it, touch it. It's kind of motion sensor, really. I mean, kind of.
But the idea is that if there's spirits around, then you don't have to be near it for that to happen.
Exactly, exactly. And it's another way, another line of communication.
That's an
Also,
interesting
I
thing.
have this is kind of the same concept, the cat balls. We call them ghost nuts.
Okay.
I got that from my buddy Josh Joyner over at Attic Junkie Paranormal. He's awesome, man. He makes quality ghost hunting equipment for a good price. He's actually
Oh,
designing. He said designing some stuff for me right now.
that's
But
pretty cool.
yeah, so these are the same concept, but they were actually originally designed as a cat toy. So that, lights up, the cats play with it, yada yada yada. So it stays still, right? When it's still, the light goes off. As soon as it moves, see that? It lights up. So essentially it's the same thing, just kind of show us that they're there.
So I guess the only caveat with that is you have to make sure you're like not around a windy area or something.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
But indoors, it should work pretty well.
definitely. I don't know. You see the back there, that doll back there, that's Alex. She's actually a haunted doll. Yeah, your viewers are probably wondering why I got a doll sitting behind me, but her name's Alex. She's a haunted doll that I purchased off of Etsy. Um, she actually,
Etsy's a good website.
oh yeah, they got all kinds of good stuff.
That's actually where I bought this necklace from. It's like organite. It protects you from EMF radiation.
Really, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
they've got a lot of cool ones. It
I
has like
actually,
seven different kinds of crystals and stones in it. Like
that's awesome, dude.
there's like peridot, there's lapis lazuli.
Hmm.
uh, Like my friend, like before she passed away, like she knew all about these kind of things.
I love that kind of stuff, crystals and stuff like that. I love it.
She understood like runes, like rune stones or whatever, and like she understood like what she called witch language, I think she said.
That's
But
freaking awesome. I love it. I love that stuff.
but as long as I'm on that subject, I mean, when she died for 8 minutes because she had a near death experience before she died for real, and I think that's the reason why she came back actually, because one, it was to give me a warning that I didn't have much time with, and two, that
Mm.
to explain to me what happened because I no longer fear death because of that.
Were you
So what?
guys pretty close?
Oh yeah, I mean, she was my best friend.
Mm. I'm sorry, man. That sucks.
I miss her terribly.
That sucks. So she died once and then died for good soon after?
Right, right. So when she had the near death experience, she was dead for 8 minutes, which that's a pretty good amount of time.
Mm.
And she's the way she described it was like she's like imagine an entire lifetime's worth of stress and anxiety and having to pay bills and having to provide food and all this other stuff like being lifted off of you at the same time.
Mm.
And also like she described like seeing colors that you can't see in this dimension or whatever, which it was really hard to describe. But
That's wild.
and she said it was very peaceful and like no, not bound by time and space anymore.
You try to think about that. That kind of hurts my head.
Oh yeah, I
Colors
mean it
that,
isn't amazing. That I've spent a lot of time thinking about that
yeah.
as a person that likes to paint or whatever and uses a lot of colors. Like that fascinates me.
Yeah. What'd she say? Colors that what? That don't exist?
That you can't see in this dimension.
Yeah.
Because
I don't even,
in third dimension, I mean, our eyes we can't see very much. I mean, because you've got your ultraviolet light, you've got gamma, you've got infrared, like and all kinds of lights that are part of the spectrum that are invisible to our eyes. But other animals and things like they can see it, but in other dimensions or whatever, like there's other colors.
that's wild, man.
Yeah,
That's insane.
I thought so
I
too.
don't even know how to picture it, like, in my head when I try to think about that.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to comprehend.
How do you
And then she,
feel? Oh,
She
so
said the most
go.
she said the most painful thing was experience that she ever had, like when her spirit went back into her body, like that was by far the most painful thing that she ever experienced.
I can imagine if you think about having all that stuff lifted off of you, right? And then just bam, right back in your body. Just feel like all that stuff coming back. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I can imagine that would be freaking, ugh, jeez.
She said the paramedics or whatever had had just given up on her or whatever, and they weren't actually trying to revive her anymore, and she
Oh,
came back
how did she pass, if you don't mind me asking?
because she had fallen or whatever, and she suffered like a head trauma.
Hmm, that's horrible, man. Well, at least she's done with. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
I
can you
mean,
imagine having to die twice?
I can't imagine it.
I mean, when I was a kid, man, I was, and this is kind of what drove me in this path was death, and it's always been weirdly in the back of my mind and afraid of it and not fully understanding it. And I honestly think fear and death is what drove me to love the paranormal and love and try to understand it better, you know?
The fear of death is how a lot of the masses are controlled. I mean, because that's one thing that she said that you do not experience when you die. Like you do not go in front of this entity or whatever and have your entire life judged about going to hell. Like that does not happen.
Hmm. Well, maybe she.
And the other thing that doesn't happen is you do not just rot in the ground,
uh,
which are two common things that they would have you believe to keep you afraid of death.
Rotting in the ground would be the worst, I think. When I think about that, I picture just laying there in darkness and not being able to move and just just alone with my thoughts. That is
Yeah,
what I think about when I hear that.
it's like the way I've heard it described is like we are basically like we're connected to this universe or whatever in more ways than we can imagine. So it's like the entire universe and consciousness folded into ourselves inside of this physical vehicle.
Hmm,
And once you exit the vehicle or whatever, it's all released or whatever. And
hmm.
that's I think that's why we're here.
It almost
It's to,
feels like
it's to remember why we came here.
we're trapped. You know what I'm
Well, I mean,
saying?
we're certainly limited in in this body.
Yeah. I mean, I think you would
But,
think
but,
normally.
but that's why things like racism are just so stupid because it's a fucking vehicle and arguing over like the color of your vehicle like it's stupid. It's just
Yeah,
one of the ways that people stay divided and it's got to stop.
that's a good way to look at it, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
Hmm,
everybody, we're all the same consciousness essentially.
hmm.
Like Irvin Schrodinger said that the total number of minds in the universe is one.
Yeah, I thought about that a lot, actually. Like, we're all connected and it's all one big consciousness. You know what I'm
Yeah, like
saying?
that's how things like remote viewing are possible.
So, like, we're like one, like me and you, we're in the same consciousness? Or is it like there's some supreme
It's
being?
the consciousness that's animating us is the same. Like we come from
Uh,
the same
so
consciousness.
we all start at zero and our experiences create us and make us different, right?
That's basically what you would call like creation or God or whatever is that infinite consciousness, which is what you go into like when you go into a deep meditation or whatever, you you connect with that unbound infinite sea of consciousness. And
Hmm.
I've done it before and it's an incredible feeling. Like you can feel it like it goes like through your entire body and it's giving me chills thinking about it actually.
What do you do? How do you do that? I mean, does it call you have to take drugs?
You have no no you have to just clear your mind or whatever. And there's like mantras that you can do. Like there's many ways of doing like the way that I was learning is like from Dr. Stephen Greer, which is the one that does like the CE5, the Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind,
I
like
know who that
contact.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I plan on doing, and one reason why I wish Jessica were still alive because I guarantee that she would be all for that, and
Hmm.
she would be on board with that.
Were you
But
How'd you take it when you found out she passed, man?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty devastated. Like, I didn't expect it, and when I first heard it, I found out from somebody else that we both know, and I
Mm,
honestly thought that he was messing with me because he called me up and he called me just to ask me. He's like, "Did Jessica really die?" And I was like, "What?" Because
oh,
that was the first I'd even heard of it.
right. And he would assumed you would have known because you guys were so close.
Exactly. But I mean, I had a feeling something wasn't right anyway because I hadn't heard from her in a few days.
Oh man. Ugh.
I know the last time that she was here, it would have been different if I would have known that was going to be the last time I was going to see her.
Of course. We're always so short with each other and everyone, and it can all be over like that, man. And we treat people so badly in the moments, and you know,
Yeah, and in the end, when what you have to consider, like what really mattered, like that moment where somebody cut you off and you got in an argument about them, like does that really matter when you're on your deathbed?
yeah, no kidding. Ugh,
At least I have that painting that she made me, and that thing is really cool.
cool.
You've
That's
seen it,
awesome.
right? 'Cause I posted on Facebook.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
What was it? Can you explain it real
I'll,
quick?
I'll go get it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really interested in checking that out, honestly. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Nope. No, nope, 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 nope.
Now,
Yeah.
all right. So yeah, this is the picture.
Oh, that's awesome. What is, how'd she, what is that? It's like a tree, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought that was pretty incredible too, like the way she did that. Like
Yeah.
it's all acrylic paint, like, and the way she made this tree was a hot glue gun.
Are
And then
these
she put,
birds? Are those birds like coming
yeah,
off of it? Wow.
yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
can I can feel the energy coming off of this thing, like. And then on the back, she wrote, she named it "Whispers in the Night" by Jesse to my bestest friend in this world and the next.
Dang, dude, that's rad.
Yeah,
She was good people, huh?
she was.
Seems like all the good ones passed and all the crappy humans are still here. Not that we're
Exactly.
not that we're all crappy, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. Talking about the ones that are responsible for the direction the world's going in.
Yeah, exactly. It's a wild one out there, man. With all this COVID stuff and vaccine, no vaccine, like well, a normal person, what do we do? What do they do? What do we do? I mean, we feel like if we take the vaccine, we're screwed. If we don't take the vaccine, we're
Yeah,
screwed.
that's the reason why my mom took it, because she thought it would make everything go back to normal. And it's like
Your mom
that's
took it.
bullshit. She got one, yeah. It's like,
Is
but
she
there's
getting the second one or what? Or is it just the one
no,
shot?
she's not gonna get the other one.
Hmm. Huh.
I
Well,
mean,
my family all hasn't gotten it yet.
that's good.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people have gotten a placebo, and that's why they haven't had any adverse reactions. But at the same time, it's still too early to really make a call on that because there's no data on this. It's
Isn't
still in
it?
its it's still in the experimental phase, so they say. I mean,
And that's
I personally think that they know exactly what they're doing because
and
they had
that's
this.
what scares me, bro. Is sure people are saying I took the vaccine and I'm fine, but okay, yeah, you took the vaccine and you're fine now. What
Right,
happens 2 years from now? What happens a year from now?
right. Or what happens for when all of the damn 5G towers become active? I mean, because
I,
there's a video of this graphene oxide or whatever, and it's actually being influenced by the 5G or whatever, and it's like moving around, like it's fucking creepy.
that's horrifying.
Yeah, it's self-replicating nanotechnology.
Here's the thing. I mean, I've done a little research on the vaccine. And the vaccine, I don't understand why they're pushing it so hard. The vaccine doesn't lower the risk of spreading the virus at all. From what
Right.
they're saying, all the vaccine does is make it to where you don't get as sick. You don't get as
Exactly.
sick. So
And all it's doing is turning people against each other, like unvaccinated people.
you're right.
It's like how am I putting you in danger? If you got the vaccine, then you're supposed to be protected from it. If
You're 100.
anybody's putting, if the only thing I'm the only one who's putting myself at risk, and I don't think that there's any danger.
Yep, vaccinated or unvaccinated, we all can carry it. We all can spread it out.
And to call
It's
somebody an anti-vaxxer is basically saying that you don't believe in the freedom of informed consent and choice.
it's exactly right. That's exactly right. You know what? Yeah, I'm not saying I am an anti-vaxxer. I just don't have enough information about all this to make an educated decision. That's how I feel.
Exactly.
I, I'm
Exactly. The
I'm
fact
not.
that uh, there's another video where this nurse opened up a brand new Johnson and Johnson vaccine, and the paper insert is completely fucking blank. There's nothing on it, and that's the information that you would get, like the ingredients and possible side effects and stuff. And there's nothing there, and it's a huge fucking piece of paper.
What?
Yeah, and it was a brand new sealed vaccine, and she opened it up like right on camera. Like it was pretty messed up, but obviously there's a reason why that's not there.
See,
I
there's
mean,
so much
I
info.
think they've had the vaccine since before this thing was played out or whatever, so they know exactly what it's going to do.
All this information out here, out that's out. It's you don't know what to believe. You hear good stuff, you hear bad stuff. And for a normal person who's just trying to make it and not feel like a piece of shit for not being vaccinated. I mean, it's just
It's like I tell people, if the virus goes away the minute you turn the television off, because that's the only place that it seems to exist,
yeah, right. That's pretty funny, actually. That makes a lot of sense.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Because I haven't watched the news for 20 years or whatever,
I don't
and that's
watch
why
it.
I don't have any fear or whatever,
I
because
don't watch this shit.
that's all that I'm hearing from the people that are afraid is because of what they're hearing on the damn news.
It's all negative, negative, negative. Here's a fluff piece about a puppy. Negative, 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 negative. You know, like I don't need that
Yeah,
in my life, bro. I've got enough problems. You know what I mean?
exactly. They're not trying to deliver any kind of empowering message.
It's just whack, man. It's whack. It's a strange world we're living in.
Yeah, no kidding. We we're definitely living in some interesting times.
No? Any other questions for?
Not that I can think of. I think I got out the ones that I wanted to ask mainly.
Yeah, I think, yeah. You want to do an outro?
And I got to say the things that I wanted to say,
Yeah, I think that was good.
and we didn't get cut off, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. Let me stop it.
Yeah, we can end it for now, and we
Do you
can
want to
definitely
do an outro real quick?
see. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll be back again. Not sure what the next episode. Oh, actually, no. I know. I think I know what the next episode is going to be. It's going to be Cyber Polygon. That's an interesting one. That's about basically the internet shutting down. And
Hmm. Well, thank you for having me, Rockstar. I really appreciate you.
yeah, thank you for joining me, and thank you, listeners. I'll see you next time.